Alex Chen had seen many strange things during his 5 years manning the trade outpost on Kepler 442b, but nothing quite prepared him for the small figure that appeared at his counter that morning. The girl, if that's what she was, stood barely 3 feet tall. Her skin shimmered with an iridescent quality that shifted between pale blue and silver depending on the light. 2 large, dark eyes dominated her face, and delicate antennae curved back from her forehead. She wore what looked like a patchwork dress made from various scraps of fabric, some human, some distinctly alien in origin. Alex recognized her species, a Lyrian child, probably no more than 7 or 8 in their developmental cycle. The Lyrians were a peaceful species, traders and artisans mostly, who had welcomed human colonists to this sector with cautious friendship. "Can I help you?" Alex asked gently, switching his translator implant to Lyrian Standard. The girl stared at him with those impossibly large eyes, then slowly reached into a pocket of her dress. She withdrew a tiny, trembling hand and placed 3 coins on the counter with a soft clink. They were human coins, old earth quarters, their surfaces oxidized to a dull brown-green, the dates worn almost smooth. Antiques, really. How they'd ended up in the hands of a Lyrian child on a colony world was anyone's guess. "Mister," the girl said in halting standard, her voice like wind chimes, "is this enough to buy a dad?" The question hit Alex like a physical blow. He stared at the 3 rusty coins, then back at the child's hopeful face. "I what?" "A dad," she repeated, pushing the coins slightly forward. "The other children, they have dads. Human dads are strong, they fix things, they protect. I need a dad." Alex felt his throat tighten. He'd been trained for diplomatic incidents, trading disputes, even first contact protocols. Nobody had trained him for this. "Sweetie," he began carefully, "where are your parents, your Lyrian parents?" The antennae drooped. "Mama died, the sickness 3 cycles ago. No papa, never had papa. Lyrian males don't stay, not like humans." Alex knew this, actually. Lyrian reproduction was unusual. Males contributed genetic material but took no part in child-rearing. It was the females who raised offspring, usually in collective groups. But with the colony's population still small and scattered, traditional support structures had broken down. "I see the human children," the girl continued, her voice growing smaller. "They have dads who carry them on shoulders, who teach them things, her antennae quivered, who stay. The weight of human responsibility, what his species represented out here, suddenly felt enormous. "What's your name?" Alex asked softly. "Lisa. The human teacher gave me that name. She said my real name was too hard for human mouths." "Lisa," Alex repeated. "That's a beautiful name." He looked at the 3 coins, artifacts of a dead world, now offered as currency for something priceless. "Can I ask you something? Why did you come to me?" Lisa's antennae perked up slightly. "I watched. Many days. You are kind to everyone. You helped the Grexian merchant when his transport broke. You gave food to the Vosh family when they had no credits. You smile real smiles, not fake ones." She paused. "You would be a good dad." Alex had to look away for a moment, blinking hard. When he looked back, Lisa was still standing there, small and hopeful and heartbreakingly alone. "Lisa," he said slowly, "dads can't be bought, that's not how it works." The light in her eyes dimmed, her antennae flattened against her head. "Oh," her hand moved to take back the coins. "Wait," Alex said quickly. "I'm not done talking." He took a breath. "Dads can't be bought, they're earned, through love and time and choice. Both people have to choose each other." Lisa's head tilted, confused. Alex came around the counter and knelt down so he was eye level with her. "Here's what I think. I think you're incredibly brave to come here and ask for what you need. That takes courage. And I think that anyone would be lucky to be your dad. But not you." Lisa's voice was barely a whisper. I didn't say that, Alex replied. He picked up the 3 coins, examining them in the light. These are very old, from Earth, my species' home world. They're special. He placed them carefully back in her palm and closed her fingers around them. But they're not payment. If you want, they could be a gift. A gift from a daughter to her dad, as a memory of this day. Lisa's eyes went wide. Memory of, you mean? I mean, I'd be honored if you'd let me try to be your dad, Alex said, feeling tears prick his eyes. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes, but I promise I'll be there. I'll teach you things. I'll carry you on my shoulders if you want. And I'll stay. The sound Lisa made was something between a chirp and a sob. She launched herself at Alex, her small arms wrapping around his neck with surprising strength. Her antennae tickled his cheek as she buried her face in his shoulder. Really? You'll really be my dad? Really? Alex confirmed, returning the embrace. We'll have to do it officially. File paperwork with both human and Lyrian authorities, probably attend some classes, but yes, really. They stayed like that for a long moment, human and alien, 2 beings from different worlds choosing to become family. When Lisa finally pulled back, her face was wet. Lyrians cried too, Alex discovered, though their tears were opalescent, and she was making a sound that he realized was laughter. I have a dad, she said wonderingly. I have a human dad. And I have a daughter, Alex replied, feeling the truth of it settle into his bones. A brilliant, brave daughter who I'm very proud of. Lisa held up the 3 coins. These are special now because you're special, because you said yes. We'll keep them somewhere safe, Alex agreed. A reminder that the best things in life can't be bought. They can only be given freely. As Lisa chattered excitedly about showing her new dad her home, her drawings, her collection of interesting rocks, Alex marveled at the strange paths life took. He'd come to this world as a trader, a representative of humanity in a vast and alien cosmos. But maybe, he thought as he took Lisa's small hand in his, this was what humans were really meant to represent. The ability to look at another being's need and answer it with love. To bridge the gap between species not through treaties or trade agreements, but through the simple, profound act of choosing to care. 3 rusty coins, such a small offering for such an enormous need. But in the end, the payment had never been the point. The asking was the gift, the trust that humans would respond with compassion. And in answering that trust, Alex had received far more than he'd given. He had received a daughter. And she had received what she'd been searching for all along, a dad who would stay.